So welcome to the PBS Pulse, the Porto Business School podcast, where we keep you informed of the trends shaping the future of business. Today, we are joined by Jorge Rodrigues, coordinator of the Geopolitical Risk Observatory for Business at Porto Business School, and a faculty member in this field to explore the role of geopoliticals in the global economy. George, welcome to PBS Pulse, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for having me, Philip.
So we live in a rapidly evolving world where geopolitical and economic challenges are deeply interconnected, shaping markets, societies, and global decisions. So to start, I'd like to ask you, with the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East, geopolitics has been a major topic of discussion. So why should business leaders pay attention to geopolitical developments, and how do these issues directly impact companies and their strategies?
Well, it's the revenge of geopolitics. From some reason, after the Second World War or even the Cold War, we just realized that perhaps security was not so important. We forgot security. Fukuyama, for instance, wrote a book on the thesis saying that it's all about economics and it's the end of story. And we just forgot that we have other concern. We should concern with other things. And as we can get from the launch of Davos meeting with WEF, they realized that the main risk for business is geopolitical. So we have to take care of this as exactly at the same level as we are concerned with other fields. For instance, there's a study from Edelman's barometer from 2022, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that says that 75% of the sea level consider that geopolitics is one of the top 3 concerns they should have. So it's all about geopolitics now. You have to include that in your decision-making process, in your risk mitigation, and also, and is not, just don't forget that it's also about opportunities. Looking for new markets, new partners, etc., etc. And why is that? We have a totally different world order. The power is more diffuse. United States is leaving the stage. Trump is first time in history is the ruling power. Is trying to change the system. It's the first time it happens. So we have a total diffuse power with disruptive elements, actors on the field. Trump is concerned about, of course, about China, the competition with China, because China is their main adversary, main competitor with the will and with the ability to do it. But a lot of other actors also in conflicts, and there are somehow affecting the global business.
Okay, that's quite nice, a nice message, because you turn from a threat to an opportunity. So I think this is a main key takeaway for business leaders out there, because we can turn threats into opportunities. So we can look at geopolitics not only as a threat, but also an opportunity. That's quite nice. So this is quite interesting because it builds on the second question. So building on these global power struggles we are witnessing today, so how might these dynamics shape the global geopolitical landscape over the next 2 decades? What potential scenarios could emerge? So looking at what could emerge, what are the opportunities that could emerge from that?
Well, actually, as we have the multipolar world with not a ruling power that you have to obey or something similar to that, I consider that countries and other economic actors don't feel that they have to follow some strict rules, so they have a more open field to explore. So as major power competition is going on, of course, between United States and China. We also have second level powers like Russia itself. It's not so big economically, but has a red button with nuclear weapons, so it's very important, of course. And we also have regional powers. And from these regional powers, they are trying to fill the blanks. And we have to consider India, of course, very important India, that is in the middle of the system, exploring all the opportunities, having strategic autonomy and so on. But we also have other countries like Turkey, Brazil, South Africa, and so on. So there are a lot of actors that may explore these kind of opportunities. As scenarios, you can see that, and we are looking in a foresight perspective, that is following strict steps, that we have, of course, a different order and multilateralism, but we also have two crucial uncertainties. And these are the relation between United States and China, if it's competition or on a conflict in the stronger way, and the conflicts, the wars that are going on, if they are going to escalate. That brings us at least 8 different scenarios. From there, I will take the most probable one, that we'll have competition and the war won't escalate. But we have also the most dangerous one, that we have a conflict between the two major powers, and we have escalation on the war, perhaps to the nuclear level. That is a dangerous risk, of course, but it's also an opportunity. If you have, if you try to get the blanks and go directly to the opportunities that new actors in the world, new opportunities, new areas that can be explored for all the business actors in the field.
Okay, that's quite nice, because again, new players means new money, new opportunities, and a new chance for making new business, right? So we have to take into consideration these new countries, such as India, Turkey, because as a Portuguese, I don't realize that there are other countries that sometimes we don't value as much, but it can create us a lot of extra opportunities. So, and looking for this geopolitical transformation, so how are these geopolitical transformation likely to reshape key priorities for businesses?
Well, first of all, we can expect economic fragmentation. For instance, let's take an example. I think it's easier to have, if you have an example. For instance, an energy transition. Everyone agrees that we need to address this subject, but we have to consider, for instance, the energy security, that you have to supply enough energy at a good price. So if you have two different, the coupling with two different supply chains, with two major powers leading each supply chain, you need to be near one of them, otherwise you'll be lost. Will be left behind. On the other hand, with the energy transition, there are less countries that have the assets, the value chain controlled. One of them, and the most important one, is China. Will be in China hands.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy to just move through this path. You need to be part of it and have to be smart to explore this. And this similar situation you have to digital transformation, and you have to the supply chain, whatever you think about it, but it's always the same. There are losers. The losers are the actual actors. For instance, in this energy transition example, we have Russia, we have Middle East countries left behind. The Middle East countries are Muslim. They will think that you are doing this transition just considering they are Muslims, so we want them to be poor. So that brings social unrest, political unrest, security difficulties. So it's all a block that we have to consider altogether. So this kind of situations change the way that we have to make it the risk management. We have to address that with a better supply chain resilience, with near-shoring, friend-shoring, with different and more suppliers, etc., etc., with compliance adjustments, with market expansion, with geoeconomic strategy. So we have to address all these in this decision-making process.
Yeah. We were thinking at the same level, because when you told about economic fragmentation, my brain just went to nearshoring. So economic fragmentation may be a serious threat, but it can create opportunities for companies to enjoy the nearshoring. So focusing on Europe and Portugal, how do these regions fit in this new global context? What challenges and opportunities lie ahead?
Europe has to understand that the center of gravity moved to Asia, totally, to Asia Pacific. So we are not the most important ones anymore. So we are not a major power in security, in economics, in the industry, whatever you say. So we are utopic, a good utopic ones, that we are concerned about human rights and so on, democracy, but we also have what Mario Draghi wrote on that report. We have to reindustrialize. We have to take about energy and the industry security, supply chain security, and so on. We have to move all together with one goal. It won't be easy, with a different decision maker process and so on, giving the opportunity for strategic autonomy, but also with strategic partnerships. It's very, very important to have different partnerships, not only depending, of course, our priorities, the United States, the Euro-Atlantic relation, security, economic, whatever, but we also have to move to other partners in the world. And again, India is one of the most important ones, but other ones, Saudi Arabia, of course, and Brazil, South America, and Africa. And so on. We have these important partners we should explore. With the different areas like energy transition, we have that as a main goal. We can do different in the world. We can lead that process. And of course, Portugal in the middle of this also can explore there, because we are a really small country. So we have to explore our soft power, our link to CPLC countries, and also trying to get this digital opportunity linking to Japan, for instance, the leading country that we have excellent relations, but also with other countries, again, like India and so on, that we have this kind of specific link.
Historical linkage.
Yes,
we can explore
course.
that. Yeah. So thank you, George. Thank you for joining us on PBS Pulse, where we keep you connected to the future of business with expert insights. Stay tuned for our next episode.